50, I first wanted to ask, during the creative process, did you ever think about taking this role of Ghost for yourself?
There was a point that I was going to commit to it. You know, it would be a lot easier to pitch me playing the lead to get the show picked up. And then when we got to the point that it was time to commit to, what the networks would want me to do, I was like,
it's a big commitment.
I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't. It's just so much. I just want to do something smaller, where I can be reoccurring, and then Courtney designed the Kanan character for me.
Would there have been a backlash from your fans, you think, if you committed just to Power and weren't able to?
If I just quit doing everything but Power, it would feel like I fell off the planet. Yeah. Because I'm constantly involved in other projects at the same time, so it's cool. And then Omari was the perfect pick. Like when I picked him out before I had his name.
How come?
Because I had saw him in Next Day
Air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next Day Air, and I was like, yo, this is the guy, we gotta get him to do it. And then Courtney had already had him on the list of people, and then we reached out, and we got him. And they're scheduling, and this was difficult to get Joe. Like he got.
Yeah, they had another Tommy. I mean, they had another Tommy cast, pretty much, that went through the whole process, and then once Omari, because that was before Omari committed, or during a process that he wasn't 100%, they didn't 100% have him, and then after they 100% had Omari, they had chemistry reads with everybody again, so anybody they had on lock, they're like, well, we got to bring you back through the machine because make sure that it all works with Omari, which was lucky for me because it works with Omari.
And that's cool. And I wanted to ask you, Joe, Tommy is a very complex character. He is street, but then he's really emotional. So how do you mentally prepare for the switch up?
You know what? There's certain aspects of Tommy that I think are just elevated parts of myself too. Even the character of Tommy. I mean, I was never hustling like 50, but I have a street education. Coming up in Chicago, and a lot of the stuff you'd find those guys who had death in their eyes, and a lot of times they were really corny. Corny, even in sometimes as hip hop, as rough as it is, I mean, I'm not saying LL's the roughest dude in the world, but as soon as he's I'm bad, I'm gonna squash you like a jelly bean. So sometimes, you know what I mean? There's a symbiosis between being emotional and being hard, and I think that we have the luxurious benefit and power of getting to know these characters over a long period of time where we could just show Tommy, and I think if we had to do it on a network, we would just show Tommy being a hard guy because that's all the room we would have. But now we get to see the inner workings of maybe why he is that way, because he is emotional. He's a human being. He's got shortcomings and whatever else comes with it.
Yeah, and the emotional side that they see coming from him is towards Holly, and this is him mirroring the relationship that he sees with Ghost and Tasha.
So if you could change one thing about Tommy, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about Tommy, I think it would be his dipping in the product.
Okay. So switching gears a little bit, as a celebrity, one part of everything is social media. So 50, I wanted to ask, how do you deal with people feeling like they can comment on your personal life and all that type of craziness?
I get, the people like to see you unhappy, especially, if you're in a position where they feel like you're a winner, because there's no sympathy for winners at all. And they'll look at it, and if they feel like it irritates you in any way, consistently be there. Like if I put up a picture of my son, and they'll go, oh, they'll see so many positive comments, and then they'll go, where's your other son? To focus on the relationship that didn't work right. You see what I'm saying? And it's I could just tell the unhappy people, they're part of that. You know what I mean? And you just see every time it comes down, it goes through that chain of things, and it's consistent.